person.
In person.
It's crazy.
This is the benefits of potting in person. This unmovable device
Yeah.
is literally in the spot that I want my microphone. So this table couldn't be any worse. All right, let's do this thing. Whoa, maybe I'll spill on my water first. That'd be cool. What is up, and welcome back to 24 minutes of the Oscars, the only podcast. I don't even know our own intro.
Yeah.
Do you know our own intro? I'm a little flustered, if I'm going to be honest with you, Ben.
Give him your name.
I'm Ethan. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
And who are you?
I'm Ben.
Okay.
We're officially meeting in person.
This is happening.
This isn't a VFX award. This is legit happening.
We got really good at VFX over the week.
Can you imagine?
We just splice this thing. Green screener behind us.
Yeah.
All right, let's try. Welcome to 24 minutes of the Oscars, the podcast that takes a look at the 2023 Oscars 24 minutes at a time. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben, and we are here tonight doing a live instant thought recap on the 2023 Oscars, where A24 just fucking dominated, man. What a time to have an A24 pod.
Swept it. Look at us go.
Look at us.
I could tell you that we saw this coming and we just got ahead of the curve, but honestly, complete luck. We just got lucky.
It's crazy. I can't believe it, but
yeah, super exciting. A24 becomes the first studio to win all 4 acting categories, I believe, and has won the most above the line awards in the history of the Oscars. Or Everything Everywhere, excuse me. Everything Everywhere All at Once becomes the movie to win the most above the line awards in the history of the Oscars and win Best Picture. Everything Everywhere did it, dude.
We're here.
We're here.
We did it.
We did it.
The butt plug fights that we saw
the Academy got behind it.
They were like, you know what? That's an award-worthy fight right there. I need more of that in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here. What a night it was. I mean, just a big weekend overall. Again, for us, meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
And we were able to watch the Oscars at a local theater here in Portland. And
super nice theater, by the way.
Super nice. Oh, yeah.
Really
it was a
cool.
blast.
I had never been there, and ironically enough, the name of the theater is called the Academy. That was pretty nifty to see it at a theater called the Academy.
It was perfect. It worked out wonderfully.
Yeah, it was great. Really fun crowd. We sat in the back row, and I know we have a lot to talk about, but I know we got to get this out of the way. Let's just do it. Just do it. Just rip the Band-Aid off, Ben.
I have a question for you.
I don't even want to look at you. I don't even want to make eye contact. I'm depressed right now. I'm wallowing.
I mean, that's understandable. You might feel like you've been tarred and feathered after tonight because if I remember correctly, there was only one of us that predicted that maybe Tar was going to go 0 for 6.
Yeah.
I'm curious. My memory is fading in my age. How many Oscars did Tar win tonight?
Tar should have won.
Should have. Yeah. Okay.
Should have won at least one Oscar for cinematography. Okay, let's just say that now.
I like that.
Yeah. Tar goes home with 0. I know that you predicted 0 for Tar. I know you did. Yeah. But this is a genuine question because after this episode, we're going to have one more episode, I think, where we do a more concentrated breakdown of the Oscars. We kind of have time to sit on it, think about it.
Yeah.
A little more production value. And really give our deep thoughts on the Oscars. But I want to talk about the show as a whole, obviously. But, regarding Tar,
yeah,
I said this to you during the broadcast. I was like, I feel like it's kind of a travesty that one of the greatest movie masterpieces, probably of the last 10 years, just unrecognized at the Oscars, didn't win anything at all. I know you're not as high on Tar as I am, obviously. But
is that what you're talking? I thought you were talking about Elvis. You're talking about Tar? Whoa, that is news to me. I thought you were talking about Elvis for sure, because that was a travesty that it went over.
Well, look, Elvis went over as well. So, we're in the same boat here. Okay, before we talk about movies, let's talk about the Oscars, the show in general. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the short of it, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, overall, it was really good. I'm not a huge Kimmel person in general, but I think he did a nice job. Kept it pretty tight, kept it running.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had under 5 slap jokes, which was good because we just didn't need a lot of those.
That would have been a good prop bet of over under.
Oh, yeah.
Slap
That would have
jokes.
been really good.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and anytime Ke Kwan's in a room, like he just brightens it up. And
Yep.
even at the end when Harrison Ford, like it almost like he clapped harder for Harrison Ford coming out than he did for Michelle winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's not true. He was excited for everyone, but like when he saw Harrison, it was just like, oh shit, that's Indy.
That's my guy.
Like, yeah. Which is just like so heartwarming.
Yeah.
And the group that we were with in Portland, I mean, we didn't know any of them, but like it was a solid group. People were clapping. Like everyone was pretty much on board with the same stuff. So it was cool.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good crowd. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, I think like after the first monologue and after the first award, I think we got our first like commercial break. That was about 20 minutes into the show. And I turned to you and I said, what if this is a good Oscars? Like, what if this is a good show? I'm like worried that it's going to be a good show. I thought Kimmel did really well. And talking about the opening monologue, like he wholeheartedly like recommended people should go see The Women King, go see Till, go support theaters. Like that was real, and that was great. Obviously, some jokes thrown in there about, you know, physical abuse and don't do anything and blah blah blah, which, you know, give or take, I guess. But you had to do it in light of last year. Yeah. But I thought minimal Kimmel time was the way to go. And he only appeared maybe 3 more times for like a couple minutes a piece.
Yeah, it was just the right amount. Like we got the opening monologue jokes, we got a L. Ron Hubba Hubba joke, you know, like we got those Scientology in there. But yeah, for the most part, it felt like they listened to what people were saying and just kind of cleared out. Like we don't need the host. Like you can intro it and then get us out at the end, but like we don't need someone there. And they proved that last year we didn't have a host at all, or 2 years ago? Like one of the awards did it with no actual host.
I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I know last year we had the trifecta of hosts, and that just didn't work for me. Like it all. So yeah, I liked the host. I thought Kimmel was pretty good. The other huge thing, and I tweeted about this, we got clips.
Yeah, we did.
We fucking won, dude. We
amazing.
got clips.
I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm so like that's been missing forever. It's like the people said, like, give us all 23 categories and also give us clips. Like there are the people like us who like, you make this a 5-hour night, I'll be here for 5 hours. Like I want to watch this stuff. Obviously, like you know, talked about that Ringer article on your TikTok that like kind of blew up, which was rad. And there's like ways that we could like redo the Oscars, but for what they did this year, I think it worked really well.
Yeah, I think it worked really well. They knew that people wanted to see clips of the movies. Yeah. And they even put in some really good like kind of mega montages of like the other movies, and you know, used the Babylon score to pretty much all of them. So that seems like
he got some recognition, I guess.
Pretty low blow. That seems like it was done dirty by the Academy.
Yeah.
Maybe Justin Hurwitz is just better than the Academy. Maybe. So yeah, I think the show overall was great. 3 hours and 35 minutes is about what it clocked in at. Yeah. Felt good, felt manageable, and I loved the best actor, actress, best picture, no commercial break. They just like flew right through it. I thought that was a great change up. Yeah,
we don't need to extend it any longer. This is just about the length of Babylon. So this is like great. Like let's just 3:30 and let's get out of here. I think it was perfect. It was one of the best ones we've had in a long time for sure.
Absolutely. And the 5 live performances, I want to know what your favorite one was, because they were all distinctly different. Let's be honest.
It's hard not to get like taken back by Rihanna and her greatness. Like we just saw her in the Super Bowl, but this was like a much more kind of reserved performance. Like it was definitely very showy, but it wasn't like in your face like the Super Bowl is meant to be. This was like she's in one spot singing a very heartfelt song. So that was a beautiful performance, but it's like how does anyone not pick not to, you know what I mean? Like to watch them dancing that. Like what was your favorite?
Yeah, I think Not To like production value was dynamite. It was incredible. Yeah. Probably one of the best live performances in like recent memory, at least.
For sure.
But if I'm being honest, like I love Lady Gaga, so I loved her like stripped down performance. Yeah. I thought that was really good. She went like ripped jeans, t-shirt, no makeup, guy on the piano, and that was pretty much that. And I thought that was really good. And she kind of like prefaced it with, like, this song means a lot to me, and I wrote this for somebody, and like it's very personal. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I'd probably go with that. But I liked those. I thought those were all a very nice breakup to the very long, show.
Yeah, they spread it out nicely, and I mean, we talked about it in person. But it's like, man, that's like industrial strength makeup remover, because like she showed up with, I mean, she looked beautiful, but it was just like those a very bold red lip, like very bold eyes. And then we see her up there, and it's just like, oh, did you get done at the shop? You know what I mean? Like she looked like she's like in her overalls, like just like done fixing my plane. I'm gonna sing now. It's like cool. Like I mean, it worked perfectly. It's just like I was kind of blown away.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I think I saw on Twitter someone was like, did they artificially like chap her lips like between that and the performance?
Quite possibly.
All right, let's get into the categories.
Let's do it.
We're probably going to keep things pretty brief on this episode. Next week, we'll get into a deeper dive on everything that we think and kind of the bigger picture of the Oscars, maybe where the Oscars are headed in the future based on this very positive reception. And then we're getting back to A24 stuff, because it seems like a pretty good time to have an A24 pod.
Yeah, and we've missed a lot of stuff.
We've missed a lot.
So our queue is piling up for sure.
And we have heard you. We have heard the listeners. They want us to get back to A24.
Yeah.
And I like it. I love the Oscars, but I will agree that 10 weeks, long time.
It really
to
is.
spend talking about the Oscars and prognosticating on everything, only to go, for me to go 15 of 23. My ass handed to me.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do much better. I did like 18 of 23, but
that's good. That's good in my opinion.
My Babylon and Elvis blinders on, man. Like all 5 I lost were due to those 2 movies. So listen, I believed in Austin Butler. Like
we all believed in Austin Butler. That was the problem.
2 months ago, I was like, oh yeah, Brendan's got this locked in. And then the Globes happened, and obviously he's not there. Colin and Austin win. Then the BAFTAs happen, and Colin wins, and Austin's winning other stuff. I'm like, maybe they're not going to give it to him. Like that's just kind of what I thought was happening. And then once they say his name, it's just like, oh yeah, fuck, of course they're giving it to him.
Had to
like they said this like 3 months ago, and I don't know, talked myself out of it. So unfortunately, Elvis didn't do as good as I had hoped. It's
0 wins for Elvis on the night.
Still number 1 in my heart, behind Everything Everywhere. Austin, I love you. But yeah,
0 wins for Tar, for Elvis, for The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
And Banshees of Inisherin. 0 wins for those movies.
It's crazy.
Steven Spielberg shows up with a movie that he makes about his life and about being Jewish and growing up Jewish and the destructive nature between film and art and family. And he gets this incredible cast, and he's just sitting in the audience, just chilling for 3.5 hours.
I
still can't believe it.
I mean, it's insane. Like I think I've said it before on here, but I had a couple coworkers who asked me, because they know we have these pods. And like, oh, what's going to happen at the Oscars? And this is back in like June or July.
Yeah.
Obviously, I hadn't seen it yet, but it's just like Spielberg is putting out a movie about his life. And if there's one thing the Academy loves, it's like people talking about themselves and like film and all that kind of stuff. And then just like nothing happened. It's kind of crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. Just happened. I think our light just went off.
Just like our light went out.
I might have unplugged our light.
There is a.
Oh no!
A quick production break here. We have a technical difficulty. In the meantime, I'll remind everyone that Tar won 0 awards.
That's unfair. You can't use open mic time. You can't do that.
Ethan's
you can't do that. Okay, best animated was Pinocchio. We kind of knew that was happening. Oh, I wanted to mention. You mentioned Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
This might be a hot take.
Oh.
I did not necessarily flow with his acceptance speech.
Oh, all right.
It was a lot of ocean puns.
Oh, yeah.
I was
you didn't flow with it? Is that what you're doing? Jesus.
That was unintentional, okay? I was off the top right there.
Wow, some rocky waters with that one. That's insane.
Yeah, it's getting choppy out here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, dang, dude, you're just like, you're pulling out all the stops when it comes to the ocean puns. Yeah. But, I get good for you. It is the whale, I guess.
He did, yeah. I think he called his wife his best first mate or something.
Yeah, he did.
And I turned to Ashley, that's what I'm going to refer to you as from now on. Like, can you imagine being married to Brendan Fraser? Like, and he gets to a point in his life where he's winning an Oscar, and you supported him his whole life, his whole career, everything. And
you help him get back.
That's my first mate. It's like, what the fuck? I bore 3 of your children. Like, I've like been with you forever, and that's the fucking thanks compliment. I get. Is like first mate. Like, all right, dude, whatever. Go walk the plank. Like,
and he goes, and he's like, it takes a whale to act at the depths that Hung Chow can act at, and that was just like supplanted in the middle of his speech. He just like called out Hung Chow, and I was like, that's great, but like. that was strange.
Yeah,
to
that
me.
was so weird.
I'm sure he was very nervous. I'm sure he was very excited about what was happening.
For sure.
Best animated was Pinocchio. We knew that was going to come. We kind of had no question about that. And, honestly, I think it's a great way to start the night. You get Guillermo del Toro up there saying, like, preaching the good word. Yeah. Animation is art. It is cinema. It is not a genre. This needs to be accepted and move forward and evolutionized. And I think it's some good energy to start the night.
Yeah, it was good. That's a great movie. I think, obviously, being in A24 pod, like, we both love Marcel the Shell. I was glad at least got nominated.
We love it so much so that my wife texted me "boo" during the Oscars, and I was like, I literally emphasized it with a question mark, and I was like, "What is that?" And she said, we didn't want that one to win.
We don't want that one.
And I was like, "Whoa, wow,
that's
big Marcel fan over here."
That is a take. Yeah, no, but obviously, like, Pinocchio's fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it, like, the effort they put into it, it's been. I don't know. They've been making it for. Well, I guess they were making Marcel for like 7 years. I think this one was for a few years. Like, it's nuts what goes into it. But yeah, Pinocchio's great.
Yeah, this is where we duet "Ciao Papa." It's where we sing it.
Jesus, I've not had
on the
spot, drink yet.
On the spot, let's go. Okay, we then moved to Best Supporting. Ke Huy Quan. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, another wonderful note to start the night. Just a sublime speech. The guy knows how to give a good speech.
Yeah. I mean, this was like the easiest lock of a vote. We put out that poll for everyone. We'll do the numbers and figure out who won. Yeah. But out of every entry that put in, we're somewhere over 20. Everybody picked Ke. Like, and it's like, it's 100. Great. And it was deserved, though. You know what I mean? And it was just so great to see him up there, even after all these award speeches, still getting emotional and still like, being still very caring. Sincere and genuine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not putting on a performance by any means. So that was another great way to start it off. Yeah, that was a good win. Okay, supporting actress. I think this was the biggest drama of the night. Yeah. I don't think there was anything more dramatic or more like upsetty fashion. We'll get into All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah. Maybe upsetting some categories, but Jamie Lee Curtis wins this over Angela Bassett. We got a dish on the tea real quick, Ben. Dude. Because Angela Bassett, not a happy person after this took place. No, that was the first. I think it's the one thing everyone loves to do, like when someone wins an award, to see how the people that lost react. And for the most part, everyone is happy, but Angela Bassett was fucking stone faced. And then I was telling you and Ashley, is like, it was all happening. It's like, oh, she's not standing up. Like, she's not clapping. She's not standing up. I mean, very easy to notice her in the front row, beautiful purple dress. Yeah. And she just like was not having any of it. And, I don't know. Like, I've never been in that kind of position, but you hope everyone is like happy for whoever wins. Yeah. But I also want to make it clear, like, I don't think Jamie Lee was the best person this year by any means. She wasn't even the best supporting actress in her own movie, in my opinion. Nope. But this definitely felt like a lifetime achievement, which the Oscar has been known to do before, where it's like Jamie Lee probably isn't getting back up here again in the next, 20 years. Yeah. Let's reward her now. Angela's great. Stephanie, it's her first time. She'll probably be back. Like, Hong Chow was great, although this should have been for the menu, like we talked about. How great would that have been if they put the graphic up and they were like, Hong Chow, the whale, and then it said like parentheses, the menu. That was tortillas. Yeah, that would have been so good. Tortillas. And then like Carrie Condon, which you could make the debate was like the best. Like, that might have been Stephanie Sue is my favorite for sure, but everyone else did a great job. But Jamie Lee just kind of felt like, let's make this a lifetime achievement. So I'm happy for her in that sense, but I don't want anyone to think like I picked her to win, but it was because of that. It's not because I thought she was the best. It just kind of felt like this is what the Academy was going to do. Yeah, the Twitter jokes were just rifling off when Jamie Lee won. It was it was wild. Everybody's like, she won for Halloween Kills. She won for this. I joined in on the fun, and I was like, this is a makeup award for Christmas with the Cranks. I felt good about that. Very well deserved. Well deserved. I loved it. The honey ham part in and of itself, Oscar worthy. I think we can all agree she wasn't the right person to win. Yeah. Again, like you said, it was kind of a lifetime achievement award. Like that's kind of what the Oscars do sometimes, right? And so this was the perfect opportunity to do that. And I think at some point in time, and when that happened, people were like, social media was kind of blown up. People are like, the Oscars are terrible. Nepo baby conversation. Yep. This is bad. You award it to like
you know, you had Angela Bassett, you had Hung Chow, you had Stephanie Sue, and you give it to an older white woman.
Yeah.
And all of that is valid, but like, you know, Will Smith fucking slapped somebody last year. Like, if this is our most dramatic moment, let's all just take a beat and be like, the Oscars probably fucked that up. That's okay. We can move on. We still have a good show. Yeah,
exactly. Like, not the person that probably should have won this, but if this is like the worst thing that happens tonight, like that's a successful night for sure. So,
right. Yeah. I don't know. I think people overblew.
Also, like, I mean, we haven't really talked about, like, I love Christopher Guest movies, who is her husband, her partner. And he did not want to be there. Like, he did not. He's like, why the fuck am I here? Like, I don't want to be at the Oscars right now. Like, I don't know, want to go home and watch Spinal Tap, which I recommend anybody do, or go watch Best in Show. But yeah, he was just like, I don't want to be here tonight.
I think, you know, part of the best part of the Academy Awards is like looking at people's plus ones and just seeing people in the crowd and just being like, you know, how you vibing with the night? Because there's a lot of different energy going on.
For sure. I will say, I gotta shout out my girlfriend Ashley. She told me what was probably the funniest joke of the night that made me upset. She's like, you realize every time she goes to a party, she can just put a Jamie Lee Curtis plus guest. I was like, God damn it, you can't do that. Like, you can't do that to me. It took me like 3 seconds to process it. Like, fuck, oh God,
damn it.
I can't admit it. So
joke.
It's a great joke. It's a really good joke, but
it's a good one. You know, I'm curious your take on the audience interaction bit. There was a lot more audience interaction last year. That just didn't work. Just absolutely fell flat, in my opinion. There was even a moment, Amy Schumer, absolutely just like not recognizing. I'm blanking on who it was.
Oh,
for
last
Best
year. I
Actress.
was like, I remember seeing Amy Schumer this year.
Last year, like just totally being like, oh, like, why are you sitting in this chair? This is reserved for like nominees, and it's like, she's fucking nominated, bro.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know.
So like things like that, but we did get very minimal audience interaction. I thought it was pretty good. And I thought they were really smart to be like 2 minutes and then we're moving on. Like, we got to get this done.
I'm glad we didn't get a lot of that stuff. I'm glad we didn't get like the old bits of Kimmel bringing in like remember you had like tourists come in that were doing like a tour through whatever. And then like they brought them into the Oscars, which is like, what the fuck is happening right now? Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get any of that stuff. This is another thing I think made it successful. It's like it was pretty tight. Like, it was just like, let's run through it. So.
Keep it moving. I think the best audience interaction joke was directed at Colin Farrell and was like, what are you saying the entire time in your movie? Yeah. And I was like, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Those are good.
That's pretty solid. And then bringing Jenny on stage. Yeah. Not actually Jenny, though. Let's just confirm they did not fly the real Jenny in.
No.
And they duped us. Do you feel manipulated about that?
I mean,
or do you not care?
It's just another Jenny from the block, I think, that they brought in. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a big year for donkeys, so I'm glad they got some recognition for sure.
It's true. It's true. Big year for donkeys. Let's talk about the Little Mermaid trailer during the Oscars.
Let's.
So, Halle Berry and
Melissa
McCarthy come out, and they're like, hey, we're in the new Little Mermaid movie. Disney's great. 100 years of Disney. Blah, 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 blah. Enjoy this new trailer. Yeah. And we get a trailer that plays in the middle of the Oscars telecast. Mm-hmm. And then after the trailer, we move on and we get commercials and we kind of go about our business. How did you feel about that being like included? Being like literally in the momentum of the Oscars?
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who somehow doesn't know, like, Disney owns ABC, so like it made sense that they were doing that just to keep it all in the family. Like, it's free promo on arguably the biggest night of the movies.
Yeah.
It was cool to finally see a trailer. I had my fingers crossed for a Barbie trailer at some point, but
like a new Barbie trailer. You wanted like new footage.
Oh yeah. Give me that.
That would have been cool.
But yeah, I don't know. Our buddy who's been on the pod, Clayton Davis, I guess at the actual Oscars, they didn't get to see the trailer. They just like cut to commercial in the audience, like, or at the actual show. So we were the only ones that got to see it. But it was cool to see it. I'm sure some people are going to pick it apart for it being too dark and stuff. But I will say, as the person who in the 2023 draft got Barbie and Little Mermaid, Scream 6,
That
Roadhouse.
that was Scream 6 was a good pick, and Roadhouse actually a good pickup considering the Jake Gyllenhaal clip we just got.
I just am saying I don't know how I lost because it's been a big week for all my movies, but maybe I need to run the poll again. I don't know.
You don't know how you lost?
Yeah.
I got every freaking good movie coming in 2023. I'm just going to be honest with you. The Killer? Asteroid City?
I don't know.
I got 2 others too.
Yeah, you did.
They're by tours.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer? Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, let's.
What if Oppenheimer goes like Tar and does 0 at the Oscars next year?
Let's do this. Let's prognosticate. Let's do this. Okay.
Okay.
So, what if it does?
I mean, what if?
Do you think Oppenheimer is a big Oscars play outside of sound, outside of score? What are you going? Christopher Nolan directing?
I mean,
Best
maybe.
Picture?
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, if this is another year, I don't know what all the regulations are for next. If it's going to be 10 pictures again, like I feel like it could fall into that.
2024.
Yeah, so I think it could. I mean, Nolan's been nominated 5 times, hasn't won yet. But writing for Memento, Best Picture for Inception and Best Writing, and then Best Picture and Directing for Dunkirk. Shout out Dark Knight missing out. So I don't know. I mean,
not better in the slightest.
No, fuck you, Slumdog Millionaire.
Doesn't matter.
Not a big deal. But yeah, I don't know. Like he's been recognized but not rewarded. So the size of this cast and everything makes it seem like it's the front runner. But again, you're talking to the person who in June said Fablemans is going to sweep everything because I thought that's what it was going to do. I don't know.
You're putting your bad juju on Oppenheimer for 2024 Oscars. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah.
If there were ever a year to institute a best ensemble cast, 2024 is it.
Yeah.
Barbie and Oppenheimer, strictly those 2 films alone.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2. I mean, you're looking at some absolutely riveting ensembles.
That's true. A lot of stuff coming up.
You could really, really make a good case for. I think that would be really, really fun. Okay, let's see. Best VFX went to Avatar. We kind of knew that was going to happen. Women Talking wins Best Adapted.
Hell yeah.
I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Sarah Polley is just a badass.
The women are talking.
The women are talking.
Sure. Yeah,
the women are talking. And the first thing, she wins this award and she gets up there and she says, thank you to the Academy for not shying away from a movie title that has the 2 words they're most scared of put together, women and talking. And I was like, you're a queen.
She crushed it. Yeah, she deserved to be nominated for director. We talked about that. Like, Ruben Östlund's great, but I think she could have taken his spot pretty easy. Maybe should have. But.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Okay, the other big I got 2 more big things that I want to talk about, and then whatever you want to cover as well. Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors presenting together.
Yeah.
Not only presenting together, but presenting on cinematography and showing us, like, hey, here's why Orson Welles was a big deal. Here's why cinematography is a big deal. This is what has to be done. And it's like, cool. Can we just make like a 90-minute special on these guys just like talking about cinematography? That'd be sick.
I love it. It was so cool to see that. Like, it's one of those weird film bro things, but Citizen Kane gets shit on a lot for the recognition that it gets, but it's deserved because of moments like this where they explain, like, we didn't have cameras that you could put on the floor and shoot up, so you had to, like, figure something
drill
out.
A hole in the floor.
So it's like, all right, well, let's like go down into the ground then and like shoot up, and it's like that's the kind of stuff they did with Citizen Kane to like help create new like visual aesthetics, and it's a very important film. And it was cool to see them recognize that at the Oscars.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And they also shouted out Angela Bassett as they walked up. I don't know if you saw that.
Jonathan Majors did?
Yeah, they're like, hey, Auntie. And it was just like, that was like you should have won that award. Like,
100%.
that was a definite recognition for Angela Bassett there, which was like, again, well deserved.
I love that on the stage too. Like, I live for those moments where it's like, ho, you got it in. You did it. Like, you talked to him on stage.
I want to find out who like does the seating, because they put Austin and Angela right next to each other.
Yeah.
Who were like, in a way, like supposed
Guaranteed.
favorites. Yeah. It's just like, cool. Let's give them the shortest walk. They have Brendan Fraser on the literal end of the front row. Like
Top Gun Maverick Sound Squad, back of the house.
Row. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm just kind of curious how they figured this all out, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I think the other biggest upset, let's talk about the energy of the night in terms of All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah.
Because we're going along in the night. All Quiet on the Western Front wins cinematography. And we're like, okay, we kind of saw that coming. We had an idea. I was hopeful for Tar, obviously.
Yeah.
But that does make sense. Best International, All Quiet. We get that. That was kind of a shoo-in.
Mm-hmm.
Production design. Now, All Quiet on the Western Front wins here over Babylon. That's my takeaway here.
Yeah.
Very next award, best score, also All Quiet on the Western Front. Someone tweeted out like, "Hey, Babylon fans, how do you feel that you got beat out by a bunch of foghorns?" And I took that exceptionally personally.
Yeah,
I feel really hurt by it, and I won't be forgiving this person.
We heard a lot of those foghorns tonight. Every time they won, we kept getting those so much.
Dude, it was so much.
Yeah, like you talked about, I missed 5 of them tonight, and 2 of them were Babylon. It was those 2, and the other 3 were Elvis. So that was kind of I was riding a high there for a while. Like first 6 of 6. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you were checking out good.
And then it was just like, oh, Babylon, like boom, boom. Like, oh fuck,
the double
punch. Like, yeah, we're done.
The hive will rise again.
Yeah,
trust me,
they'll be back.
Babylon hive will rise again. Don't worry about it.
Also, they threw some serious shade at Babylon in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Jimmy
they did.
Kimmel,
God damn, dude. Jimmy
like,
Kimmel,
you know what TV can't do? Lose $100 million.
And he goes, "Where's the Babylon team at?" And he's like, "No, I was just checking to make sure they were here. I wasn't trying to shade them." It's like, wow, that's brutal.
So brutal.
Babylon will be reclaimed. I just want everybody to know. And here's the thing, at least on my Twitter feed, it was like, Babylon loses for production, loses for score. Everybody's tweeting all of a sudden, "Oh man, Justin Hurwitz was robbed. Babylon was robbed. They should have won." Blah. And it's like, okay, where the fuck have all of you been? Where are all my Babylon Hive people at? Because you weren't here.
Yeah.
Pre-Oscars. And now you jump on the Babylon Hive, second round, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I like Babylon because they're an Oscar loser." People.
Yeah.
Please.
Tell the people.
Come on. We gotta stick together here. So it kind of felt like at that stage, All Quiet, because then we were having the conversation of like,
yeah,
does All Quiet win Best Adapted? And if it wins Best Adapted, does it go on to win Best Picture?
Yeah.
Is that what it could do? That's what it felt like the momentum of the night was kind of leading to. And then you get Everything Everywhere winning Best Original, Women Talking winning Best Adapted, and then temperature kind of came down a little bit after that.
Yeah, it kind of came back to earth a little bit.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. Let's just say it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing that I really want to talk about, Elvis. We kind of mentioned this briefly. Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, Banshees.
Yeah.
All 0. Nothing. Didn't take home a single trophy. How do you feel? Do you feel like that's okay? Like, did the Oscars get caught up in the magic of Everything Everywhere? Like, is that deserved? I'm just curious. I don't really know how people feel.
I mean, it was surprising, I think. There's some circumstances, again, with Jamie Lee with, like, the Lifetime Achievement. Like, there's honestly, in a different universe, like, it should have gone to Angela Bassett, Like, so Marvel picked something up tonight. So many arguments can be made. Again, like, I know that I'm riding the Elvis hype train and I wish Austin won, but I also wouldn't have been upset if Colin Farrell won. Like, he gave a great performance. I do think those, like, they're just kind of riding the wave, where it's just like, oh, Everything Everywhere keeps getting recognized. Like, cool, let's just kind of vote for that. Because what, they got 7 of 11, 8 of 11? How many did they win?
I think they got 7 of 11. Nice. But they definitely set some records doing it. Michelle Yeoh becomes the first Asian actress to win Best Actress.
Yeah.
Only the second woman of color to win Best Actress, Best Leading Actress. There's some big deals for this. And, Daniels, the guys who made Turn Down for What music video, are now Oscar winners for Best Picture.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I mean, so we knew they weren't going to get all 11 because both Stephanie and Jamie were nominated for supporting actress. So there's no way they could have, like, swept everything.
Sure.
So, and then they lost.
And they weren't going to win original song. We knew that.
Yeah, they weren't going to win original song. Score was a long shot as well. And then costume design is probably the one that they maybe have the best chance at, but they come up against Ruth Carter, which is understandable. That's another one that I lost at because of Elvis. But Ruth Carter's a genius, a legend. I I don't love the costumes of Wakanda Forever. Like there were some of them are great, but like the big reveal costumes we get at the end, it's just like, what
like,
are
no,
we looking at? This is insane. Well deserved for Black Panther. I don't like this one nearly as much, but yeah, but still to take 7 out of 11, like that's pretty rad.
That's pretty good. A24's got to be really happy. A lot of shout outs tonight. You know what I noticed? A lot of shout outs for A24. And every time All Quiet was up there, or is anything with Netflix, shout out Ted Sarandos.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has to be done, or else they don't get a check for the next movie.
That's true. Yeah, that makes sense. Otherwise, you don't get that money. But big year. I mean, again, like being an A24 pod, like they took all 4 of the acting nominations, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. Best Picture, like it was a solid year for the studio. You know, it feels like it's been a long time coming where they, maybe win a little thing here and there, and then now it's just like they
figured it out.
Over the Oscars, yeah.
It's we obviously had the entire kind of Weinstein era of like playing the Oscars.
Yeah.
And he knew how to get around the rules, and they made new rules because of Weinstein and all of these things, right? Absolute terrible person and human being, and everybody should go watch the movie. She said, I didn't like it, but I think the story is very, very important. It seems like not in a dirty type of way, or not like in a kind of, snake type of way, but they figured it out. They know how to play the Oscars, I think, a little bit more than most studios do right now.
That's true. Yeah. Like they know what they're doing. They've proven that. I'm excited to see what comes next year. Like, This feels like a once in a generation kind of movie, Everything Everywhere, and it hitting, because there is a world where none of this works at all, and it's like, they got,
and it picks up nothing.
Yeah, they got Short Round in here. Why did they do that? And now he's a fucking Oscar winner. You know what I mean? Like there's so many ways this could have gone wrong, but we talked about it as we were leaving the theater tonight, and just, I don't know. I want to go back and listen to our episode, because I remember leaving the movie Everything Everywhere the first time I saw it. It's like, did I just see one of my favorite movies ever? And it just like, it felt weird, because that shouldn't happen with a brand new movie. But I was like, I've never been affected like that before. So it was kind of cool. Not that anyone needs justification, but it's like, oh, all right, so that was legit. Like other people probably experienced that same thing, and that's so cool that they were able to do this. And I love that, Daniel Kwan was like talking to his son. He's like, if you ever see this, like, this is not the definition of success. Like, this is not the level you need to achieve. This is weird, Yeah. And I like that he kind of kept that. Like, he's on stage. He just won an Oscar, and he's like, this is weird. Yeah. Like, thank you, but this is weird.
Yeah.
And you can't go into your next project like, all right, it's got to be an Oscar winner. It's just like, this was absurd like a perfect storm. Thank you, everyone. But this is so weird.
This is crazy.
Like,
yeah.
We're the Swiss Army men, like Daniel Radcliffe farting corpse guys,
Dude.
And we're up here winning Oscars. So I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty wild stuff. And his wife was videoing it, which was really cute.
That was
great.
Awesome.
Okay. Favorite moments and favorite win. That's what I want to know. One of my favorite moments from the evening, the 7 to 10 seconds we got of After Sun when they showed Paul Mescal for Best Actor. Yeah. I turned to you and I was like, how can I do it? I watched 10 seconds of After Sun. I'm tearing up over here.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. I do not know the guy's name, but the writer behind Natu Natu, kind of like adapting the Carpenter song.
Incredible
to talk about,
moment.
Like how they won. Like that was fucking beautiful. He's like, grew up on the Carpenters, and like the audience kind of laughed, because I think they thought he was making a joke, but then like he turns one of their songs into like them winning, and I thought that was just like absolutely beautiful. Also that cool moment for An Irish Goodbye, where he got the whole audience to sing happy birthday to the kid.
Sick.
Like that was super
really
awesome.
Cool.
But man, it's hard for the favorite win not to be Key. Like he's just, every single time we've seen him accept something, he is just like so like grateful and gracious, and just he's just fucking excited. You know what I mean? Like he's just like,
he's authentic.
Every picture with a celebrity, and he's like, what? It's just
Dude,
like,
I have so many of those saved in my camera roll, and it's kind of freaky, because it's like, I don't know this person, but I love these pictures.
But it's amazing. But like he's on stage and he sees Steven Spielberg. He's like, oh my God, it's Steven. Or he sees Harrison walk up and he like stands up and give him a standing O. It's just like, he just has such genuine excitement. I'm very excited for Loki. I think that's going to be cool, because he's showing up in there.
Yeah,
and
he's in season 2.
Yeah, he's in season 2. And we saw a preview for another Disney Plus. I think it's called, is it American Born Chinese? I think that's what it was
something
called.
similar, yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's like
The
it's him,
core three.
Michelle Yeoh, and Stephanie Sue, like
Yeah.
all going to be in there. Like
Wow.
it's so cool to see. So I'm excited for whatever the renaissance is of Key. I think it's great.
I think that'll be good. Obviously, really enjoyed the outfits, the just beautiful dresses, beautiful tuxedos.
Yeah.
There was the guy from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Rakakuni guy.
Yeah.
His suit, his tuxedo was like longer and in the fashion of like a hibachi chef.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
It was
like,
so cool.
Things like that. They need to make like the Oscars need to make like a best dressed
they
of
really
the night,
do.
like kind of like thing.
We got to see Rakakuni during their song performance.
Yeah.
Like This Is a Life.
That was a cool song
Like
performance.
that was pretty cool. Getting David Byrne up there with the fucking hot dog fingers. Like that was so good. It was perfect.
Yeah, I think that was great. I think my favorite win of the night is probably Women Talking for Best Adapted.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't that big of a surprise, but it just felt good. Like that movie deserves it. It is massive. It means so much. And Sarah Polley is fantastic. And she gets up there and is like, the movie ends with a mother speaking to her child and saying like, your future will be different than my life was. And like, that is so powerful and amazing. And I think a really big theme of the night, was a lot of people saying like, make art, stay true to your dreams, like keep on doing your thing. And like the future looks bright for cinema, which I think is great.
100%.
And I love that. I love the whole theme of it.
It was so good. I think I talked about it on our episode, but I just want to like reiterate here that I'm so glad we went through all the best pictures because I don't think I would have seen or All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad we did because while it won stuff that I wasn't expecting, it won everything it deserved. Like it was really, really good. If anyone's been putting it off because they just haven't seemed too interested in it, for at least for myself, probably for both of us, is a recommend. Like check it out. Like I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't have to for this pod, but I'm so glad that we did because it's a beautiful movie. It's a moving movie. And I don't know. It's just like it's really, really well done, and it deserves, I think, the recognition that it got tonight. Because between that and Everything Everywhere, it basically took home half the awards, right? Between those two movies, like it did. It was solid.
Yeah. Let's be honest. I mean, the show flatlined after Babylon lost the score.
That's what
we
I
were
hear.
all out after that.
That is what I hear.
Went under after that. I do want to bring up one quick thing. Again, I loved Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield presenting together.
Yeah.
Absolute dynamite duo. Super fantastic. Love to see that. But what I do want to bring up is probably the worst thing of the evening. The Academy playing off 2 or 3 people that were like, hey, I'd like to thank my family, and then score, and they just played them off. And it's like, what the hell?
It's that transition, and like none of them are longer than 2 seconds between like switching from one person to the other, and they would just start playing. And it was so frustrating for them to do that. And there was one example, I don't remember what it was for, but
it might have been for VFX. That was like the first one.
Yeah, that might have been it, because I think the woman started going up after the first person talked and just want to thank her families, and they just like started playing her off. And then they do the next award and they let both the people talk. And I hope it was an instance of, oh, we screwed up, let's not do that this time. But it's such a bummer that they didn't like let them do this. That was the benefit of was it the SAG Awards or whatever that were on the Netflix, YouTube, like whatever streaming.
SAG. And Independent Spirit.
Yeah.
Like they just had their own streaming.
And that's like that. I think that's the way to go, where it's like, let's not have the time constraint. Like, I mean, Michelle Yeoh did that. I think it was the Golden Globes. Like, don't start playing, I can beat you up. It's like, I think they all want to say that, but she actually means it. And it's just, I'm glad it didn't happen. Really, I think the only time it happened is when there was like a transition between 2 people talking, which is annoying. But I'm really glad that someone like Brendan Fraser or Key like didn't get played off like that. I'm glad that happened. But it's a bummer that like whenever there's a group that went up to receive something, it kind of just felt like the first person is the only one that's going to be able to speak, and that kind of sucks. But what are you gonna do? It happens every year. So
yeah, I do feel like they played off less people this year. Which was nice. And then I'm just thinking about like, Kimmel as a host wasn't like sublime. It wasn't like incredible or like memorable or anything. But I think it was really solid. And part of what I think made that really solid was in the bits that he did have. It was jokes. They were jokes, but they I think intermixed he became earnest about like film and movies, and he was like, we're here to celebrate movies and like talk about movies, and called out James Hong, I think, and was like
94.
Hey, like, you're incredible. Like, we should all give you an applause. Like, you've been in more movies than anybody on the planet, and you're awesome, and you're a bad civil engineer. And like, that was funny. Because he just praised him first, which I thought was great. So like, I felt like his genuine monologues about like movies, like, hey, we're here to talk about good movies, I thought it was good, and I think that's the energy that they should continue with.
Yeah, exactly. Forward. They don't need to like cut stuff down or anything like that. Like he did a good job with that. And again, kept it pretty like tight and short and just kept moving on.
Yeah.
While overall like kind of praising movies. It is kind of funny though that like James Cameron and Tom Cruise weren't there when they're responsible for like almost $4 billion, in box office this year. And they're both just like, nah, I don't want to be there. It's like, fuck, good. Guys. Like, you guys are the ones that wanted us all there. Dude, like, nah, I can't be there.
I will say that joke was really good. Where he's like, the two guys that wanted us to go back to the theaters won't even come to a theater to see the Oscars.
Couldn't be bothered to be here.
Couldn't be bothered. Yeah. I think overall, pretty solid show, man.
Yeah.
I had a fun time.
It was awesome.
Had a good time.
Yeah.
Came down to the wire, but it felt good. There's no big scandal, no slap, no ridiculous out of hand drama. There was enough. I think there was just enough to like keep the pot boiling a little bit of like, this happened or that happened. But I think overall it was rather uneventful and very well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I feel good about it.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice job. They rewarded the right movies. Yeah, and Tar got nothing. So.
Another big win for the Academy, huh?
They did
it. Yeah. Look, I know people are tired of me talking about Tar. I don't give a shit. I
am people.
I represent all people. I will do my Tar rewatch every 5 months.
Cool.
And then we'll just dedicate a pod to it. We'll just...
use very loosely.
I'm going on a Tar solo pod. Next journey, next
start
endeavor
a Patreon
for me.
Where you like break down Tar 5 minutes at a time.
Dude, that's it right there.
That's it.
Minute by minute Tar pod. All right, cool, man. We'll have a deeper discussion next week.
Yeah.
We'll kind of collect our thoughts. You're going to head back to Salt Lake, and this is real. See? We're real. Look at that. Physically high five.
I didn't do it. If I
you just like you stopped and like glitched out for a second.
Oh wow, cool.
Can't touch. This is exciting.
Yeah,
first time we've ever met in person.
Yeah.
First time potting in person.
The catfish didn't happen. It's good.
Yeah, no catfish. Thank God. You met my family. You met my wife. You met my children.
Yeah.
You're an incremental part of the Simi clan now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. I loved it. We had a great time. Great time hanging out, shopping for music and stuff today with your little girls. Like they were a blast to just like stroll around with.
They're having fun.
Yeah, they were super fun. So
it was a good time.
Yeah, and Molly's fantastic. So excited to come back up.
What's our pod schedule look like for the future? We got it. We got the farther breakdown coming out next week.
Yeah. We'll do.
And then we're back to A24. I think we're talking about upcoming 2023 releases.
Yeah, this is all. Maybes, but we kind of talked about in a timely manner. Maybe we'll go over our top 10s of last year together. Now that we've watched a lot of them because of the Oscars, and then maybe wrap up March with what we're looking forward to this year. And then April, we'll get right back into A24 stuff.
Yeah. We missed an A24 movie with Julianne Moore. I just want you to know that.
That's crazy.
Sharper on Apple TV Plus right now. I haven't watched it. Haven't talked about it a lick. We missed it.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore is Mother. Come on.
She's amazing.
What are we doing?
Yeah, if you guys have, I know our friend Vibe sent some in, which is awesome.
Yeah,
but
Vibe and Caleb both sent some stuff in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you guys have any recommendations of what you want us to cover, because we've missed a lot of stuff, any of the recent releases, or really anything else, like let us know, because right now our slate is empty. Like we don't have anything planned for April. So if you've got something you want us to cover, like throw it on there. We would love to hear what you guys want us to talk about.
Was there news the other day of a Nicole Kidman A24 flick?
Yeah.
Is that what I saw?
That sounds right.
Super exciting. She cheats on her husband with somebody, and I think it looks like a really enthralling drama.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You're looking it up.
Yeah, well, I did like Nicole Kidman A24. It's like killing your sacred deer. Like, well, yeah.
Okay,
Baby Girl. It's called Baby Girl.
Baby Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot
thriller.
of A24 stuff going. Oh, an erotic thriller?
We had an erotic thriller.
Talk about a genre that's dying on the vine.
An erotic thriller about a career woman in her 40s who ends up having an affair with a 21-year-old intern.
Yes.
We're here for it.
Well, see, here's the thing, and here's what everybody is saying. The intern needs to be a girl.
Yeah.
And then we've got a true genre-changing erotic thriller film on our hands.
And the movie is being, I think, written and directed by Helena Rain, who did
Bodies, baby.
So that's a solid cast.
I love to see that.
More Rachel Sennett, you know?
I love to see that. That's exciting. Yeah, that's a cool
Rachel
A24.
Sennett has an A24 movie come out too, right? I think so.
I believe it just premiered at South by Southwest a couple of days ago. And I don't know what it's called off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I heard the reviews are sublime. So the A24 train isn't stopping. It's keeping on.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, so if you want us to cover anything, let us know. Get at us on Twitter at 24 minutes of A24. We're also on Instagram. Obviously, we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is great. Any closing thoughts?
No,
just
Portland's awesome.
Dope,
glad to finally come up here. It's been like at least 20 years, if not longer, since I've been here. It was a blast. Yeah, I was glad to come up here and turn this crazy idea of watching the Oscars together into a reality. And to know
we
that
did it.
We're both real people. So
look at us.
Yeah.
We did it. Wow, pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah.
We got a big pick this thing in the next couple of years. We'll get a studio and
we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll get the company to pay, pay for you
Spotify,
to come over.
Hit us up. If you're looking for another movie pod to help out with Big Pick, we're ready. Yeah, we're ready to go.
We're ready.
This was awesome. Thanks again, everyone, for your support. Thanks for sticking with us for the last 11 weeks, I guess, now, of all this Oscars coverage. It was a lot of fun. I kind of want to make a habit of it. I think, begin every year with the Oscar picks. Like it's been a lot of fun. So, let us know what you think. We have been throwing out the idea of maybe doing some Patreon stuff. So that might be coming down the pike in a little bit here. But yeah, thanks again so much, everyone, for all your support. It's meant a lot. So
yeah. Thanks so much. Tune in, subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your shows.
Yeah.
YouTube, go subscribe. We're doing pretty well on YouTube, if I'm going to be honest with you. Things are kicking off, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So subscribe to us there. But yeah, I'm Ethan Simi.
I'm Ben Lawhorn, and in the words of the immortal and amazing legendary actor Tom Cruise, see you at the movies.
That was impressive. You did it.
That was good.
That was good. Really
good. Yeah, I like that. Bye, guys.
See ya.